Welcome back to the Dero Bets channel. It is week 16 of the 2025 MLS season. It is a midweek slate with 13 games. So let's recap week 15 and then get into my four picks for week 16. Looking back at the weekend, it was a good weekend for us overall. Both the player props and the best bets ended in the green. Four good reads on the best bets, I thought. Of course, Orlando finishes 1-0 when I said that I liked them, and we added in that over 1.5 to get the juice down. But the other three winning reads were pretty spot on. Vancouver clutched up, but clearly you could see they allowed two goals. They still won the match. Vancouver, a much better team. We whiffed on Sporting New England, but we'll take that. And then on the player props, Martin Paz had three saves after 9 minutes. He couldn't get the one more save that would have salvaged the underdog play. Royce has one shot. If you told me Royce was playing all 90 minutes and the Galaxy would have been playing from behind, I would take that bet every single time. And then the others hit with ease. Stuver, Mihailovic, Martinez, and then Westfield didn't play. Nathan Harriel, who played at right back, had two shots. So felt great about those player props. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a player props video this week, just midweek. It's very difficult to know who's going to be playing. Definitely follow at DeroBets_ on Twitter. Have those notifications on because I'm sure I will find some player props that I like, but they probably won't come in time to make a video. So we'll see. Stay tuned. I might release a YouTube short as well. But let's get into my four plays for the midweek slate. Play number one, we are going to Yankee Stadium, where NYCFC is hosting the Houston Dynamo, 6:30 p.m. Central Time kickoff, and we are taking NYCFC to go over 1.5 goals, coming in at -105. Now, I love this spot for NYCFC. They have the third most expected goals created over the last month. They're averaging over 2 expected goals per game in their last 6 games. Love to see that. And then they are playing their third game in a row at home. They have won their last 2, scoring multiple goals in each. And this is a huge advantage for NYCFC on the travel schedule. I don't know what the Houston Dynamo did to piss off the MLS schedule makers in the month of May, but this is their 8th game in 24 days between MLS and Open Cup. And not just that, this is their 4th road game in a row. They played last Wednesday in Austin. Then they went Saturday all the way to the West Coast to San Jose. Now they have to go all the way to the East Coast to play New York on a weird midweek game. They never play at Yankee Stadium, by the way. I think this is their first road game against NYCFC in like 5 years. So this is a really difficult spot for Houston. The money line and the over 1.5 are basically the same odds. And seeing that NYCFC is scoring a lot of goals, but Houston has scored multiple goals in 3 out of their last 4 games as well, I feel like, hey, let's just get the over 1.5 here. And if NYCFC wins 1-0, I'm just going to cry again. So our first play of the week is NYCFC to go over 1.5 goals, coming in at -105. Play number 2, we are staying in the Big Apple, kind of. We're going to New Jersey, where the New York Red Bulls are hosting Charlotte FC, 6:30 p.m. Central Time kickoff, and we are taking both teams to score and over 2.5 goals, coming in at +110. Now, I like any type of the over in this match. Charlotte overs have been a wagon recently, but the plus money on this play tipped the scales a little bit. It's about 40 cents better than just the over 2.5, which means a guaranteed 3-0 incoming. But if I had to side on one of the team totals, I like the Red Bulls more in this one. But all of the numbers back up a ton of goals in this matchup. This is hit in 5 straight Charlotte FC games. Since May 1st, they have the most goals allowed, the second most expected goals allowed, and the 7th highest expected goals created. They've only been shut out once in their last 9 matches. They just have so many attacking pieces right now between Zaha, Ajimong, Pep Biel, Liel Labada. But these guys don't play a lot of defense, as we see in the scores. So I like a lot of goals in this one. The Red Bulls coming off a nice win at DC. They have 2 home games in the next 4 days before this little mini break for Gold Cup and international play. So they have a chance to really jump up the Eastern Conference standings. I think they're going to come out strong in these matchups. I do lean towards Red Bull to win. They've been a little bit hit or miss offensively, but they have scored multiple goals in 5 out of 7 home games, and they are in the top 10 of expected goals allowed over the last month. So 2 teams that are allowing a lot of expected goals, allowing a lot of goals, and scoring goals. So we are going to take both teams to score and over 2.5 goals in New York Red Bulls, Charlotte FC, +110. Now for play number 3, Midweek can be really difficult to figure out what you want to play. Again, you don't know what the lineups are. But one thing we can feel pretty confident about, Austin FC under. So we are going to Q2 Stadium, Austin hosting RSL, 7:30 p.m. Central Time kickoff. Under 2.5 goals, -115. Austin is under this in 11 out of 15 games this season. They have scored more than one goal once this season in MLS. You don't want to make a play just off of that though. So let's look at RSL against teams not named Vancouver. They are under in 7 out of their last 9 matchups. They've been terrible offensively. 4 goals scored in their last 5 games. I'm willing to take Austin unders right now until they have a few weeks where they go over. This is a no-brainer spot for me. What's also really interesting about Austin is they have 2 of the top 11 underperforming attackers for their expected goals to how much they've scored in Brandon Vasquez and Mirta Ozuni. They have way underperformed their expected goals, but I think that's kind of the nature of the players they have up front between Ozuni, Bakari, and Vasquez. So let's just go under 2.5 goals. Austin RSL -115. Fourth and final play of the video, we are going to Portland, where the Timbers are hosting the Rapids, 9:30 p.m. Central Time kickoff, and we are taking under 3 goals, coming in right at even money. Now, I just do not understand where we are getting this number from. These are two exhausted teams. Portland playing their 8th game in 24 days, coming back from that game in Orlando that they lost on Saturday. They have by far the fewest expected goals created in MLS over the last 3 weeks by like 2.5 goals. And they have one more game before they have a couple of weeks off. So, it's like that last Friday of work before a vacation. You're just trying to get through it. I don't see them really pushing hugely attacking wise. And then meanwhile, Colorado, they're not as tired as Portland, but assuming that the injury report stays the same, they're not going to have Rafael Navarro in this one or Cole Bassett, and they've really struggled to create many chances without them. They haven't scored more than 1 goal in any of their last 6 matches. I think they're going to struggle to create goals in this one as well, playing the last game before they're off for a couple of weeks. To me, this adds up to two teams just trying to get through this match, 1-0, 1-1, either way. I don't see 4 goals in this match. As I always say, in the under threes, they're going to be more or less, much more likely to have 2 or fewer than 4 or more. I also like Portland money line and under 4.5 goals. That was like +130. But I am just going to take the even money here, under 3 goals, Portland versus Colorado. So that will wrap us up for our Week 16 best bets. As I said, I may find more plays here, but midweek is tricky to figure out. So we will stick with those 4 plays. Be sure to follow me on @DeroBets_ on Twitter. Thanks for watching and best of luck.